Learn AI is the boilerplate career advice for this decade, but simply using AI as a tool is already behind the curve. We are reaching the point where complex code, copy, and design can assemble and format themselves completely autonomously. Typing a prompt into a chatbot is only the first layer. The next step moves beyond the chatbot toward the digital employee. These are systems with their own context, their own tools, and the ability to verify their own work before it ever hits your inbox. This shifts the economic landscape. When you can generate infinite digital outputs instantly, the cost of digital execution hits the floor. The market value of completing a basic digital task is evaporating. Where does the value go? It moves to things AI cannot replicate: the orchestrator, human attention, and physical connections. Relying on pure output is a race to the bottom. To maintain an edge, you have to move past being a producer of tasks and start mastering the specific skills that capture these new gaps in the market. The first skill is the AI agent manager. Most companies are currently buried in half-working automations and a dozen different AI tools. They need someone who can build a cohesive operating system, designing local agents that have specific permissions and the memory to handle a sales follow-up or a research project without constant human supervision. You can start this weekend. Build a personal daily briefing agent. Give it your calendar, a folder of notes, and 3 news sources. Set one rule: it must show its sources and ask for approval before it sends anything. That one project teaches you the core pillars of context, retrieval, and evaluation. The second skill is the Builder-Distributor. For decades, the technology industry operated on a clean split. One person wrote the code, and a different person figured out how to sell it. This is the archetype of the isolated technical builder, someone who creates the product in a vacuum, separated from the market. He was traditionally paired with the charismatic distributor, whose role was to capture attention and deliver that product to the masses. AI is compressing those two roles into one. A single person can now use models to prototype the product, write the launch copy, and record the demo. There is no longer a handoff. You build a small version of a product, put it in front of users immediately, and use their feedback to drive the next round of marketing. This image of Sam Altman represents a new kind of leverage. Mastering the loop between building and marketing allows one person to wield the same power as a massive corporation. It's why the concept of a one-person billion-dollar startup is being discussed seriously for the first time. Since AI has made shipping a landing page or an app easier than ever, the bottleneck in the economy has shifted. Creating the product is no longer the hurdle. Getting anyone to notice it is. This is the work of the distribution marketer. This requires mapping out exactly where an audience's attention lives, whether that is a specific Slack group or a Reddit thread. You have to find the exact painful language they use to describe their problems and address it before you ever build the product. Then there is the curator. The internet is flooded with polished AI-generated noise, and algorithms are reacting by prioritizing raw human synthesis. People want a curator who can watch the timeline, find a new model demo or a news item, and explain exactly why it matters to a specific niche. In an ocean of content, authentic human taste and the ability to build trust are the only effective filters left. While the last decade rewarded moving pixels, the next rewards moving atoms. The robotics engineer combines open-source AI models with cheap hardware and manufacturing. You can learn this by buying a low-cost robotic arm and teaching it a single task, like sorting objects. You will immediately hit the friction of the real world. The lighting changes, the gripper slips, or the object moves 2 inches and the model fails. Solving those physical errors is where the expertise is built. That same physical value applies to the final skill, the IRL community builder. As work becomes more isolated and digital, the value of a physical in-person room increases. This scale of crowd at the SXSW event shows the massive economic weight of physical gatherings. People still want to be in the same room as ambitious peers, to hire, find deals, and get the honest version of what's happening in their industry. You start by hosting a dinner for 6 people around one sharp question. After the event, you send a recap with the best quotes and follow-ups. That recap turns a single room into an ongoing high-trust network. Moving beyond the screen, whether through machinery or human networks, creates a moat that software alone cannot cross. You don't need to master all 6 of these skills. Pick one to get dangerous, and combine 2 or 3 to create undeniable leverage in the market. The advantage goes to the generalist orchestrator, the person who knows how these pieces fit together to solve a problem. The next decade of the job market will be unpredictable. This specific skill stack acts as a shield against that uncertainty. The path forward requires graduating from the role of the worker who performs a task to the architect who directs the system. There's a lot more to help you at JobSearch.Community. Become an insider and get coaching from Jeff Altman, as well as video courses, books, and guides to help you. Or you can purchase individual products and services a la carte. We want to help. If you like the video, share it, leave a comment, click the like button, follow the channel. It will help other people if you do.